All right, everyone. Welcome to Adams Polish's Wednesday Live video. Class is in session, I guess. We got the whiteboard going and everything. I'm running it solo today, so I can see your guys' comments right over here on the screen. So remember, don't forget to ask questions or anything like that. So today we're going to define the graphene line. So let me know how the audio sounds to you. If it's too loud, too quiet, whatever you guys need. See, a lot of you guys were on like 10 minutes early. So Chester and Anton are chatting, saying what's up. How's it going, everybody? DIY with Kane, Minnesota checking in. Well, look, thank you guys for hanging out, watching. Said the audio sounds low. I can speak a little bit louder if that helps. But just keep updating me with it. I just want to make sure that it sounds good and it's good for you guys. So, it's way harder watching yourself and talk at the same time. I see some of Mark Kuzma, who is a Corvette owner. He just commented on the new ZR1X. I don't know if you guys saw that with Chevrolet, but they just launched a new Corvette that, I mean, insane. I think it said it's 1,250 horsepower, which is just crazy for a Corvette, let alone an American-made. It's almost like an American-made supercar. So really cool announcement by Chevrolet there. We've been doing a lot of stuff with Chevrolet Performance, so it's cool to see their team kind of push all that stuff out and everything. But anyways, keep updating me on the audio. I just want to make sure it sounds okay for you guys. But today what I wanted to do was define the graphene line. It was a request from somebody, I think it must have been like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I guess that'd be almost a month ago. And we just kind of been fulfilling requests, which has been really cool to hear what you guys want to see. So what I wanted to do was kind of go through how I see this. I mean, I've been here since the development of the graphene line. I tested some of the first iterations of the graphene ceramic coating, which was the first product that we ever tried. And so I kind of threw this stuff up here, not in any particular order, because what I want to do is almost break it out so you can kind of see like how it sits in my mind of how the product is and how it works, and things like that. So thanks for going out alone, Joe. Good. Well, hey, I got a good job, so that's good. And Wendy just jumped on. So what's up, Wendy? So just to start out with, I'm going to start like from the beginning of graphene. Okay, so a lot of the products you see in these bottles over here, they didn't come until after the graphene coating came in. So I'm just going to push these aside so we can we'll push them aside and then we'll start like bringing them back as we segment them, so you can see it. And so let's see, I'll move these over. Essentially, what we started with was something a little bit like this. Uh-oh, you can still see these. We don't want them in frame right now. Okay, we started with this essentially. Okay, so we started with the graphene ceramic coating, just the first iteration of it. And just a little bit of backstory, like Adams Polishes had been offering ceramic coatings for quite a few years. I can't remember what year we released this. I want to say it was like, I think it was actually in 2020, either 2020 or 2021. I think it was 2020 actually. And essentially we had been selling ceramic coating. So the first iteration of ceramic coating was in like late 2015, maybe 2016. And it was just like a standard ceramic coating, silazane based ceramic coating. But it was actually pretty difficult to work with because the technology hadn't been developed and formulated to be more for a consumer. It was more for a professional. So our first iteration was pretty difficult to work with. It came with a decent amount of durability, but the process was, I mean, talk about trying to rub off sticky ceramic coating. I mean, it was really sticky. And then as the crystals would form, it would create static electricity. You could actually like set your arm over the car and you could see your hair jump up. So you actually had to follow it up with ceramic boost. It was like the neon green color ceramic coating, and you have to wipe it down to make it more slick and remove the static electricity.
Also, I don't know if you care, but you're backwards.
Oh, everything's
So
backwards.
all of the text is not legible.
If you want, you can flip the camera around. Oh, actually, you can't. I don't know if you can now or
I
not.
think I can.
Chris is going to help me with some technical issues because I'm right-handed and it looks like I'm lefty right now. So, and graphene isn't spelled E-N-E-H-P. Yeah, you can just take it. I might even show you guys after after I'm done. We have like a whole wall of limited edition stuff you guys might get a kick out of. There we go. That's better. Chris is getting it set up. But anyways, I'll just keep talking a little bit more. But so we came out with that first iteration of ceramic coating. Thank you, Chris. Everyone say thank you to Chris. I'll let you know. We came out with the first iteration of ceramic coating. And that first iteration would look, you know, almost like this kind of a label. Like this. Just your standard Adams Polishes logo or labeling. And then after a few years, we decided we wanted to try something a little bit different when it came to the ceramic coating. So we like changed all the branding and all of the logos on it, and we called it like the Delta line. And I don't know if any of you guys remember this, but essentially the A was like a delta, like a triangle, and all the labels were different. And we had a paint coating, a trim coating, and a wheel coating. And all really the main difference between those three was just concentration levels, right? So they make them have more longevity, but also at that time we were under the impression that, you know, you needed a thinner layer of ceramic coating to go on trim because it expanded and contracted with heat, like from the sun and things like that. So it was really confusing to have three different things. It was like, well, can I use the wheel coating on my paint? It's like, well, yeah, you can, but it was harder to work with because it was a thicker layer. So we had that, and that's when we first introduced when we first came out with that, it was in like a white bottle with a Delta logo. And then we came out with the UV coating in that, which had the UV tracer in it. So you could see where you apply it. So ideally you would get full coverage when you're applying the ceramic coating. And then, And then essentially what we did is that was running for quite a while. Like I want to say that was kind of 2018, 2017, 2018, 2019. Then our chemist, Chris, came up with this idea to generate a derivative of graphene, which is called reduced graphene oxide. And he paired it with the ceramic coating that we already had, the paint coating. And we tested it and it was like amazing. And we ended up, we had some investors at the time that invested into our lab over at B&B Blending, which is our chemical manufacturer. So they bought all kinds of stuff to be able to essentially quantify certain characteristics of or certain data of the ceramic coating. So, you know, hardness level, the contact angle at which the water bead hits it. You know, this would be like more flat. This is like more tight of a bead. Also like a UV machine that would quantify essentially like how resistant graphene ceramic coating was to UV, so essentially the sunlight. And they had I can't remember, it was like a machine that did scrubbing. So our chemist essentially could do tests to see how durable and the longevity of the ceramic coating was. So he would place a panel with clear coat on it. He would coat it with ceramic coating, and then he would use Dawn dish soap, which is like the harshest soap you can use on a car's paint. And then he would use I think on some instances he used a Brillo pad, but most of them it was like a sponge. And it would just go over and over again. And he would do it all the way to the point to where it would fail. And so, you know, let's say that it failed 144 after 144 brushes, and you wash your car once a month, then essentially like 12 years, it would still be there, kind of, right? And so he was able to quantify like longevity, and some of the claims that we have about ceramic coating was all done in lab testing, very like sophisticated lab testing. So after we got all that data and we developed the brand here on the marketing team, came up with the design of the label and everything, then boom, we rolled it out in 2020, and this was the first iteration. That was a long backstory just to get to this product. So this was the first graphene ceramic coating that we came out with. Came in the silver label. The reason why we did silver was because we felt like it really went well with the black and the silver to kind of create this graphene look to it. And we had the graphene coating kits. So we built the graphene coating kits with, as everyone knows, the towels, the applicators, the surface prep, all that stuff. And so this was the first iteration we came out with. Let me see if you guys have any questions going right here before I move on. Hey, Jeff Mendoza says Joe knows his stuff. Well, I appreciate it. I've been doing this for a long time. Let's see. Looks like you guys are just hanging out watching. So, okay. I see a couple just a couple of comments I'll touch on here in a minute. But essentially what I want to do is just kind of get through how this all developed and started. So first you come out with the graphene ceramic coating, okay? Also in the previous Delta line with the UV, we did have a spray coating version of our ceramic coating. It was just called ceramic spray coating, and it didn't have the graphene in it. It did have the UV tracer in it. But because we came out with the graphene ceramic coating, what's up, Tyler? Because we had the graphene ceramic coating, we wanted to come out with a spray coating as well. So we did, I think it was the next year, just a few months later, we did release the graphene ceramic spray coating. And again, it's in the silver labeling, because we hadn't even thought about moving on to an advanced type of thing or anything like that. So this is essentially like what you got if you were gonna buy graphene ceramic coating back in when we launched it. And again, like the spray coating and everything, just it opened. I think the reason we did the spray coating was because he essentially took the same exact formula of the graphene ceramic coating and he reduced the concentration level so you could spray it and make it easier to use. The application was easier to wipe off, easier to apply. And essentially the reason why we came out with the spray coating was it was essentially like an opportunity for somebody that was scared to do a ceramic coating or new to the idea of a ceramic coating. They could achieve similar results, just not the longevity, but similar performance and application to a graphene ceramic coating. And so this became a really popular product because this is, doesn't last as long as a graphene ceramic coating. So for the people like myself who like to care for their car throughout the whole year, maybe polish it, do this and do that, this was a great product to do to add a foundational layer of protection, but still be able to continue to do that. It was almost like if you took a wax and you had a wax last a whole year, but you still like worked on your car and waxed it every year, that's essentially like the same concept, but it was ceramic coating. Ceramic coating lasts exponentially longer than a wax, but it's also the performance of the water beading is ridiculous. And so, excuse me. And so we had the graphene ceramic coating, graphene spray coating. Excuse me. Now, because of the previous time we had the regular ceramic coatings and the UV coating, we also had ceramic boost with that because it was a great maintenance product, but also it was something you could do, maybe a couple days after you applied a ceramic coating to really smooth out the surface, make it feel really slick on the surface. And so kind of from the beginning, we also had graphene boost to pair with it. So as you, excuse me, I swallowed wrong, but as you can see, everything that we launched kind of in the beginning had the silver label to it. And so that's when you can really see like the lines start to take shape of, you have the kit. So anybody that doesn't have the applicators or towels, they have it, the graphene ceramic coating. the spray coating and then the boost to really like help it, you know? And so after we did this and it was successful because it's a great product, we started developing more of a graphene maintenance line. And so we took products that either were new and innovative, or we took products that already existed in our line that people loved, and we add the reduced graphene oxide to it. And that's kind of the beauty of what the graphene is the reduced graphene oxide, which is essentially an extra support for a product that already exists. It could also be paired into a water-based product, not just a solvent-based ceramic coating. So like Graphene Boost is a water-based product. Graphene spray coating and graphene ceramic coating, those are solvent-based products because they're silazane-based, and the Graphene Boost is a silica-based or SiO2. And so what we started doing is we started realizing, like, you know, you put a ceramic coating on your car, 2 weeks later, it rains. You drive in the rain, and all of the road oils splash up onto your car when you're driving in the rain. So what we were noticing is people would go to wash their car after ceramic coating, and the top half of their car would bead water like crazy. The bottom half would be flat. And people were like, my ceramic coating failed. And we were like, at first we were like, oh, something's wrong with the ceramic coating. Our chemist came to us and said, no, what's happening is you're getting road oils on the side of the car and you need something to remove that. So he developed a shampoo that, let me just move some of this stuff over. He developed a shampoo with the most creative name you've ever heard, called Graphene Shampoo. And that has degreasing capabilities, but it also has extra surfactants, which surfactant is just a fancy word for soap. And so when your car would get road oils on it and it looked like it would be flat, you would wash your car with graphene shampoo and boom, it would strip all the oils off, and then your ceramic coating's back. So instead of developing a soap that would add protection, we developed a soap that would deep clean your ceramic coating to get it back to performing what it is. Because the thing about ceramic coatings is they last, you measure those in years of protection, not months. And so because you get years of protection, it just sees a lot of different elements. So you get a lot of different things on the car with the ceramic coating on it. So we wanted something to really support and deep clean the ceramic coating. So that's why graphene shampoo. There might be even like a touch of protection in there, but to be honest with you, when you add protection to a car soap, like a lot, it takes away the foaming capability. And a good example of that is our new Rinse Aid. That doesn't foam because the protection crushes the foaming capabilities, so it comes out more like milk. So when we were developing ceramic shampoos and things like that, we're like, this is not foaming at all. Like, we don't understand why. And you know, through testing and things, Chris realized that, you know, you can't add a bunch of protection to a car soap and it foams. You have to add just a little bit. There's like a little threshold to where it makes it there and then it stops foaming. And so we were like, forget all of that. Let's just make something that deep cleans the ceramic coating. And so you kind of have your base line. So something to put the ceramic coating on, whether it's spray coating or regular, something to boost it, to boost the hydrophobic properties, and then something to deep clean it. So we kind of just like, boom, started here, right? And then I think the next product that we released with the ceramic coating, or sorry, with the graphene line, was graphene detail spray. And this kind of came about from, at the time, our VP of marketing, which his name is Matt Butcher. I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with who Matt is, but he was like, hey, listen, our number one selling product right now is detail spray. Like, can we do something to it to, you know, give it some more life or give it something a little bit more interesting or innovative? And our chemist, again, Chris Galhar, was like, you know what? We can put reduced graphene oxide into water-based formula. So let's try making detail spray with some silica and reduced graphene oxide to have all the shine properties that detail spray provides, but adds a little bit of protection, but also can boost a graphene ceramic coated vehicle, or really any ceramic coated vehicle. And so boom, you get graphene detail spray. And when we launched that, like it went really well because of course, like, you know, detail spray is a favorite amongst many. And so it was like an easy product to be able to offer to people because it takes everything that's great about detail spray, but just makes it a little bit better. And so, and I don't know if I want to say better, but it gives it protection capability versus just shine enhancement. And so graphene detail spray. Then I think, I'm just looking at these right now. I think some of these other products that I have out of frame right now didn't come until after we released, I'll move some of these over, until after we released the Graphene Ceramic Coating Advanced, okay? And, oh, it's right here too. So Graphene Ceramic Coating Advanced, all right? Graphene Ceramic Coating Advanced was, again, an idea from Matt Butcher for our VP of Marketing. And he essentially said, can we take the graphene ceramic coating we have and make it last longer? And it was like, I don't know. And so Chris Gauhar starts developing it. We start testing it. I'm telling you guys, testing the first iteration of graphene ceramic coating advanced, it failed a lot. Like the application part of it was really, really difficult to do. It was just so concentrated that you had to work in such small areas and it cured like instantly. So it was really hard to wipe off. I mean, to the point where we put it on and then we would wait like a normal wait time on regular ceramic coating, graphene ceramic coating. And it was like, oh, can't wipe it off. It's too sticky, too hard to get off. And so he ended up, we kind of tabled it for a little while. And then Chris found a solvent manufacturer and we switched to using a different solvent in our ceramic coatings, which made them way easier to work with. Because I mean, realistically, when you guys think about when you apply a graphene ceramic coating, the solvent mixture with the reduced graphene oxide, the siloxane, and a bunch of other stuff all goes onto the car from out of the glass bottle into your applicator and then put onto the car. And the solvent starts to flash off of the surface, leaving the graphene ceramic coating behind. And the solvent really is the thing that is curing really fast. It dries on the surface super fast. And there's like maybe a little bit of the ceramic coating mixed in with that. But oftentimes the reason why it's hard to wipe off is because the solvent has now dried onto the surface. And so like if you, like our Adams product called TAR or tar and adhesive remover, like if you spray that onto a hard surface and let it dry completely, it's really hard to wipe off. You have to like re-wet it to like get it to wipe off. Kind of the same concept with the ceramic coating, with the solvent flashing too fast, drying on the surface, then it's hard to wipe off. And so he found a different solvent manufacturer, and then it became a lot easier to work with. And application was 10 times easier. We could bump up the concentration level of the ceramic even higher. So I think our first iterations of the advanced was like, I don't know, not even like 10% more concentrated than the regular graphene ceramic coating. He bumped it even higher. So I think the concentration level of graphene ceramic coating is around 35 to 40%, and the graphene ceramic coating advanced is like 55%. So he bumped it up quite a bit, but because the solvent that he added to it or changed, still it made it really easy to work with. And that's the formula that you guys know and love today, is with that updated solvent. So so we introduced that, and then I think at the same time actually we had also released ceramic formula plus and then you would have roughly, what would that even be, like 82.5% solvent. I think my math's right. Don't quote me on that. So essentially what he did is instead of it being 7.5% of the graphene, he put 15% into the reduced graphene oxide. So like essentially, oh, volume's gone. You just check this. Audio's back. Okay, I think it's just a streaming problem. Sorry, you guys. But anyways, essentially, like if you double the concentration level, you can double the longevity of the product because it's twice the thickness of the layer. So one thing I do think that's interesting about all the graphene ceramic coating we have, it's all the same thing, okay? The same raw material, but it's just how thick the layer is on your car. And so the durability is the exact same out of all the graphene ceramic coatings. The longevity changes because of how much is on your car. And so that's essentially what we did with the Advanced. And the reason why we called it Advanced was because it was really hard to work with in the beginning, you know? So we kind of said like, this is advanced. So like, if you have experience putting ceramic coatings on that are hard to work with, then you should start here with the regular graphene ceramic coating. But if you're willing to try it or you have some experience, then do the graphene ceramic coating Advanced. But again, because we switched the solvent, it became easier to work with. And so really anybody can do it. So no big deal on that. So, so after we release the graphene ceramic coating Advanced, then it's like, let's add some more maintenance products. Okay, so I think the next one that came after graphene ceramic coating Advanced was actually Graphene CS3. And you know, we have a regular CS3 non-graphene, which is a silica based product. The CS3, essentially CS stands for ceramic spray, and the 3 stands for the 3 things it does. Number 1, it cleans like waterless wash. Number 2, it shines like detail spray. And number 3, it protects like a ceramic coating or silica. And so that was like our first attempt at a ceramic spray sealant, which is really, really common in our industry now. Like if you go to AutoZone, Walmart, Advanced Auto Parts, it is just the whole wall of confusion is littered with graphene, or not graphene, but like ceramic spray sealants. They're essentially like ceramic waterless wash, ceramic quick detailer, blah, 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 right? Like it's just a convoluted kind of area. But because silica is technically ceramic, people can call it ceramic sealant or ceramic spray sealant, ceramic coating. And so what ended up happening is as those products started hitting the market, it became really confusing for the consumer. They're like, I mean, we still to this day have customers that come to us and they say, hey, the dealership put a ceramic coating on my car. It was just like a spray and wipe on. They say it lasts 3 months. Like, is that a good product? And we're like, oh no, like that's not a ceramic coating. That's just like a ceramic quick detailer, you know, that they're selling to you as a ceramic coating. So just very, very confusing. And so, you know, I would say this, like even if you guys are confused, which I'm sure you're not, because a lot of people here have used our products, but you know, anything that is a solvent based is what you would consider like a foundational or like a true ceramic coating, a traditional ceramic coating. That's because the polysilazane, which is really what's doing a lot of the work to protect your car, cannot be solubilized into water. It doesn't work. So it has to be put into solvent. So anytime you see a ceramic coating that is solvent based, that is more of your foundational layer of a true ceramic coating. Anything you see that's more water based, like comes in a 16-ounce bottle or a bigger bottle, not a small glass bottle, that's going to be more of a silica type of product. Silica spray sealant, silica detail spray, silica waterless wash. And that's more of your like spray it on and wipe it off. Okay, so I don't want it to be like too confusing, but you know, anything solvent based, ceramic coating. Anything non-solvent based, water based, probably not your traditional ceramic coating. So, so yeah. So graphene CS3. So we took what was really great about regular CS3, and that was our attempt to compete in a market that had kind of popped up out of the you know, kind of the interest of ceramic coatings in general. Okay, and that's like, again, I said, like on the wall of confusion at the you know, brick and mortar stores, that's a lot of confusion. It's just like a lot of silica stuff. So that was our attempt to kind of compete in that market, was our regular CS3. So it became a very popular product. So we said, why don't we just boost it with reduced graphene oxide? And boom, you get graphene CS3. So that is just like essentially what we did is took the reduced graphene oxide, paired it with the silica, and it bolstered the protection level of the graphene CS3. So it still performs very similar to regular CS3, but the protection lasts a little bit longer. Maybe not like shockingly more, but you know, enough to really make it worth your while to like use that product. So, you know, I would say like when it comes to like your car is in the garage, it's a little bit dusty, you want to boost your ceramic coating on your car, you want to add a little bit of protection while you wipe down or wipe off the dust of your car, Graphene CS3 is a really, really good product. And, you know, I would say with any of the, even graphene detail spray, graphene boost, graphene CS3, using them in direct sunlight can be challenging because the protection agents dry really fast on the surface and it becomes streaky. I think I showed that to you guys a couple weeks ago when we were outside talking about what products go with what towels. I showed CS3, like I sprayed it onto a hot car sitting in the direct sunlight. I think I rubbed my hands over it so you could see it get streaky. I even tried to wipe it with the towel and it just looks like it kind of gums up on the surface. You respray it and wipe it immediately and then it fixes it. But you know, if you're using products in the direct sunlight, I tend to say don't use products with any protection agents in them. So like regular detail spray, slick and slide, maybe. I'd just say like detail spray, waterless wash, spray wax, decent. But again, because it doesn't have as much protection in it, you're not really like adding a ton of protection. It's more about getting your car to look good. So, so then after that, after graphene CS3, then we moved into, let's see if I can move this stuff back a little bit. Hope this is helpful. I mean, this is kind of I'm kind of giving you more of a rundown of like how we release these products and like when they came onto the market and how we did everything with it. But the next product that came after that is everyone is going to start cheering because they love this product. Graphene tire dressing. Okay, now this product, when Chris brought it to us at we used to have weekly R&D meetings. We still do actually. But we would have every 2 weeks, we would transition from being in an office for coming up like brainstorming ideas for new products. Every second week, we would go outside and test products that we have been discussing for a couple months. And so this was one of them. And I don't even think we like came up with this idea. Chris Galhar just brought us this. And the first time we tried it, there's not a lot of times this happens, okay? The first time we tried it, everyone was like approved. This is amazing. Like it sort of bridged the gap from VRT, which is a matte finish of a tire dressing, to tire shine, which is really shiny. It kind of bridged the gap in between. And the cool thing about this product is it's like, you can almost customize the look. So you could put on a thin layer and it would look, you know, jet black, but like not as shiny. And then you could put on a second layer and it would look closer to tire shine. So this one, you can really get a look that you're looking for, whether you want shiny or not. But the thing about it was, and just by the way, our regular tire shine has silica in it, has SiO2 inside the formula. So it lasts a little bit longer than like a traditional tire shine you can buy at the store. So tire shine is a great product. He also added a little bit of silica to this graphene tire dressing, plus the reduced graphene oxide, which bolstered the silica in it to make it last even longer. So the cool thing about graphene tire dressing is after you put it on and it cures, so it dries completely on the tire, when you spray with water, it beads up and falls off. So it actually allows the look of the tire dressing to last a little bit longer. So that's one thing I do. This just like everyone's saying on here, like Wendy's like, yeah, I love graphene tire dressing, Chester. I use waterless wash on the, thank you, Dan. Graphene tire dressing is the best from Pop Pop's Detail Shop, you know. I'm the same, I'm a fan. This is what I use on my car. I like the idea that there's some days I don't want my tires to look too shiny. There's other days I'm like, I don't know, let's like get a little bit shinier here. Maybe look a little bit better. So I am a big fan of this product, but I do also, I mean, anything that's near me to dress my tires, I'll just grab it. You know, if I'm at my house and I don't have a bottle of this, I'll use Tire Shine or VRT. But really, really good product. So we released this product, became a fan favorite real quick. And then after that, of course, we had to release another very popular product in our line, bolstered by reduced graphene oxide, and that was Graphene VRT. So VRT stands for vinyl, rubber, tires, and trim. So the V is vinyl, R is rubber, the T, we really should call it VRTT because tires and trim is what the T stands for. But this is like your typical, like, you know, trim, rubber, plastic, vinyl trim dressing for every part of your car, like including the cowl where the hood meets the windshield. You know, if you have plastic casings for your mirrors, plastic bumpers, things like that. Our regular VRT has been in the line for a long time and very, very popular. But always the gripe about regular VRT was it just doesn't last very long. I have to do it every time I wash my car. And it's like, I know, it kind of sucks, right? But some people like doing that process. So we were like, you know what? The one thing that people always complain about with a regular VRT is how long it lasts. So why don't we try boosting it with reduced graphene oxide and last longer? And that's what we did with Graphene VRT. So it just takes everything that's great about regular VRT and then makes it last a little bit longer. And I mean, the other thing too about Graphene VRT is I'll even cut this down with water to make it more thin, and I'll actually use it as a tire dressing, or yeah, like a tire dressing, because it's more of a matte finish, but it does still have the longevity that a graphene product provides. So, so yeah, that was why we came out with the VRT. And then lastly, the product that we released in the graphene line was graphene liquid wax. And so graphene liquid wax, actually, to be quite honest with you guys, was a request from AutoZone because we were developing a relationship to start selling our products in AutoZone, and they wanted an exclusive product. Okay, we were going to give them kind of our top 5 products, and they're like, that's cool, but can we please, can you give us something that you don't sell, like just to help kick off the relationship and going into the store? So this is what they requested. So graphene liquid wax is all in credit to the people at AutoZone, weirdly enough. And so that's why this product exists. And it did pretty good in the store, but like, you know, it's for me, it's a little bit weird to have a liquid wax in a ceramic coating line. And I think that's where it gets like really confusing. But for those people that do love to wax their car, this is ridiculous. And actually, it's funny that I'm even talking about this because I think it was yesterday when I came into work, Trent, who works downstairs in customer service, he just got a used truck recently. And it's the kind of sand color Toyota Tacoma. I think it's a 2015, 16 maybe. And I pulled up, parked right next to him, and I saw him when I was walking in. I was like, dude, I don't know. Did you detail your car this weekend? Like, did you polish it and ceramic coat it? And he was like, bro, it was graphene liquid wax. I just slapped a layer of that on there, used the machine to apply it, and boom. And I was like, wow, it actually looks amazing. He's like, yeah, it actually has a ton of swirls, and it's like hiding all of it. So as a product that performs, this performs really good as a wax. So if that's something you're interested in, you know, this with it having the reduced graphene oxide and a little bit of silica inside of there, you can actually wax over a ceramic coating and it will actually adhere to the surface. Whereas a traditional wax, like our Americana wax, won't adhere to a ceramic coating. So that graphene liquid wax is a really, really good product. So, so yeah, this is, oh, and then this might have came before graphene liquid wax, but I think it actually came after, but the graphene glass coating. Okay, so, and this product was, again, one of those things that when we launched it and started testing it, it was like, wow. You know, like the performance was a lot better than our glass sealant. Like it just, I don't know what it is. The effect that it has on the windshield, just the performance, the water beating, the slickness, everything was just exponentially better. And so we were like, we have to release this. And with, again, the graphene added to it, it just makes it a little bit more, robust, lasts a little bit longer. And really the base to that graphene glass coating is a sealant, has just a little bit of the sealant, and then it has some silica to it, and also the reduced graphene oxide. You know, the reason why we did it like that, and this is something we found out later, was that when you put a graphene ceramic coating on the windshield, which we advertised from the beginning, we started learning that the graphene ceramic coating wasn't actually penetrating into the pores of the glass. And so when people would use their wiper blades, because they're rubber and abrasive, and like dust and dirt get trapped in between your wiper blade and your windshield, it would abrade the graphene ceramic coating off like within a couple months, like real quick, to the point where you could see a color difference of like where your wiper blade wasn't touching versus where it was. And you could also see the water beating effect like in the top corners of your windshield, and then the whole, you know, part where your wiper blades touch would be flat. And it was like, what is going on? And so Chris Galhar did some testing and realized that the graphene ceramic coating wasn't penetrating the pores of the glass, so it wasn't lasting as long, and that's why the performance wasn't as good. So he developed the graphene glass coating. So if he developed that graphene glass coating out of silazane and reduced graphene oxide, it would not perform the way it's supposed to, because we already have that with the graphene coating. So he built a completely different formula for it to work on glass and work very well on glass. So I really do like that product. If you haven't seen it, like the video we have on our YouTube, the difference between like one side of the glass versus the other is like incredible. Like I love the performance of that product. So, so yeah, this is kind of the whole graphene line. It's not very big. I think it's funny. Like when I started thinking about how I wanted to present this, I was like, man, there's a lot of products to talk about. And then I went downstairs and I got all of them, and I was like, there's really not that much, you know? So, so realistically, like, you know, the way that I kind of think about the graphene ceramic coating line is, I'm just gonna lay these out in a way that sort of makes a little bit more sense. Just gotta find the products first. But essentially, like on this side over here, you have your graphene ceramic coatings. Okay, so let's see if I can move this so you can see some of this stuff. These are like your foundational layers of ceramic coating. So you have the graphene ceramic coating advanced, you have the regular graphene ceramic coating, plus the spray coatings on there. And I would even drop in the graphene glass coating in there as well. You know, so oh yeah, this goes over here. So that's kind of your like foundational layers of graphene ceramic protection. So anything that's silazane based, you want that to be your like your foundational layer of ceramic. Okay. Now these products I'm going to put in the middle, which I'm going to include just a couple of these, maybe this one too. Try to make it so you can see them. Might be kind of hard. Move these guys over. So these ones in the middle here, I would consider a little bit more of your like traditional style of like ceramic maintenance products. So these are ones that include these are ones that include like silica, things to help boost the foundational protection that you get from the ceramic coatings. Okay, so and I would kind of rank them like this. Okay, so these three I would almost say these are for like your paint and glass mainly. Okay, so Graphene Boost is the most concentrated. So this has the best boosting effect for your ceramic coating. Now, the process of this is a little bit more involved, but even though you have to do a little bit more work, this gives you the best outcome when it comes to boosting a ceramic coating. Hands down, not even a question. So, after your car's ceramic coated, maybe a few months later, you want to boost it, clean, wash your car, make sure you clay the ceramic coating as well, because you get paint overspray, tree sap, road tar that sits on top of the ceramic coating. And now that is not hydrophobic because it's not ceramic coated over, and you want to get that off. So using the clay mitt or the fine grade clay bar, you do that process on your ceramic coated vehicle, get all the bonding contamination off, and then you can go through in the shade or in your garage or wherever, you can do the graphene boost where you just spray it on and wipe it. Okay, it's like the detail spray process, but graphene boost. Now I work in smaller sections and you can boost it. Now, graphene detail spray. Okay, this is less concentrated than graphene boost, but a lot easier to use because it has kind of the shine enhancement of detail spray, but it's not as concentrated as graphene boost. So this is something that like graphene boost, you can do a graphene boost treatment like maybe, I don't know, do it every call it 4 to 6 months. So like there's a lot of time in between you do the graphene boost process. Graphene detail spray, I would recommend doing like every month. Okay. And actually Tyler, who's our head of marketing here, Tyler Roberts, I'm sure everyone knows who he is because he's like a celebrity, but Tyler, he has graphene ceramic coated his Toyota Tacoma, his truck, and he takes it through a touchless car wash. Actually, it's called Auto Wash, which is mainly local here in Colorado, but they're full touchless wash, and they use a little bit more premium products. And so he takes his car there. Then he drives his car home, pulls into the garage, and he does a quick wipe down with graphene detail spray. He does it like, I think he said he does it like every couple weeks. And the water beading effect on his car is just constantly going. And because he uses graphene detail spray more often, it's allowing this graphene ceramic coating to last longer on his car. He doesn't have to go back and repeat the application process. So that's graphene detail spray. I'd say you got to use it a little bit more often. And then graphene CS3, I would pair it like with the graphene detail spray. So, I would say like same thing I just described, like use it once a month. You can use graphene CS3 in the same way as graphene CS3, that same way as graphene detail spray. But the cool thing about graphene CS3 is it has lubricating agents to it. So if you have a car that's been graphene ceramic coating and you like to just walk out in your garage and wipe it down before you're going to take it for a drive, or you just need a little bit of therapy in the garage, graphene CS3, I would tell you to do that, or graphene detail spray. But because graphene CS3 has lubricating agents to it, it reduces scratching while you use it. You can use it more like a waterless wash. So, and then I would say, graphene liquid wax is a little bit more of a maintenance product, but I don't think you really need to wax a ceramic coated vehicle. This is just more for the people looking for therapy in their garage, or something to, like, if your graphene ceramic coating is getting a little tired, you see some minor swirl marks in it, and you really want to hide it to make it look good, graphene liquid wax. And then, for your trim and everything, graphene VRT to just keep boosting that, but also make it look rich and nice. So that would be like our maintenance products to boost a ceramic coating. Then you come over here to this side of the line, and it's just two products over here. And I would say these are a little bit more standalone that aren't aiding in the boost capabilities of a graphene ceramic coating. So graphene tire dressing and graphene shampoo. So I already talked about graphene shampoo a little bit. Doesn't have any, barely has some protection agents to it. But like I said before, like when you add a bunch of protection into a car soap, it crushes the foaming capability. So you just can't do that. So instead of trying to manage that and have an unstable formula, Chris Galhar added extra surfactants to deep clean the ceramic coating plus degreasing capabilities. So that's where graphene shampoo comes into play, but it's not a boosting agent. It's a deep cleaning agent, if that makes some kind of sense. So that's why I didn't put it in the middle section here. And then graphene tire dressing, you don't ceramic coat your tires, right? So it's not a boosting agent to any graphene ceramic coating, but it is a really high premium, high quality tire dressing that lasts longer. It's the longest lasting tire dressing that I've used that isn't really considered a tire coating. You know, like our tire armor is more of like, I would call it like a tire coating. It actually puts something on the surface of the tire to last longer. This is a tire dressing that lasts for sure lasts from wash to wash, and maybe even more so than that. So graphene tire dressing again. So this is kind of how I see the line. It's like, you know, let me just clear something up. Realistically, you start here, whether it's the spray coating or the graphene ceramic coating, okay? That puts a really good foundational layer of graphene protection on your car, and then you boost it and maintain it with these products in the middle to help. When I say boost it, that makes the water beading effect more pronounced, and with that means better self-cleaning capability. So that means there's less dirt on your car when you wash it. So that means if there's less dirt on the car when you wash it, there's less scratching because your wash pad's not picking up dirt and rubbing around the car. And then, you know, for your deep cleaning with graphene shampoo. But I do want to say this. If you don't want to go through this process, like you're very much like you've used graphene spray sealants from big box retail or like a retail store, and you love that process where you just want to add some protection and like spray and wipe it. All three of these up front, you can do that process. These are essentially like those versions of silica spray sealants, but just boosted with reduced graphene oxide. So, you know, if you don't want to do this whole graphene ceramic coating process, you could apply graphene boost every 4 to 6 months, and your car will almost look ceramic coated. It's just a really thick layer of silica and reduced graphene oxide together. It doesn't have any silazane in it at all. So, I want to be clear about that. I think that's kind of confusing. It's like, well, I have to put a graphene ceramic coating on my car. No, you don't have to do anything. You get to do whatever you want, right? And that's why, you know, with some of these boosting products that help maintain a ceramic coating, you can use them as standalone products. You know, and realistically, like if you love H2O Garden Gloss, which is a really easy product to use, which, you know, dries and protects your car at the same time, you could boost H2O Garden Gloss every couple months with graphene boost, and that could be your process. You know, I think part of what car care is a very personalized experience for everybody, a personalized routine. So, you know, whatever the thing that is the car care process that you love, do that process. You can branch out here and there, but like once you find the process that works and you love, that gives you the results that you're looking for, I like to say, you know, you don't need to fix what's not broken, right? But I know some people like doing this. It just means more work, you know, instead of a graphene ceramic coating allows more time in between to do the boosting process, but you still need to wash your car. And I always say that. People ask me all the time, what's the best product for a graphene ceramic coating? You know what the best product is? It's not a product at all. It's a 2-bucket wash system because it's the safest way to wash your car. It's the most effective, and it reduces scratching. So having a really great washing system that reduces scratching for that process, that's the most important thing for a graphene ceramic coating. And I mean, I've even heard Adam say to people, if you don't know how to do, excuse me, if you don't know how to do a good 2-bucket wash, don't even put a ceramic coating on your car because you're just going to damage it. Sorry, I've been talking too much. Anyways, that's kind of like how I see the graphene ceramic coating line. I'm going to go through the comments now and just see. It was a little bit tough to like read comments and answer them all at the same time. But, and I think, you know, I think a lot of probably Dan is in here commenting and answering questions too, which I really appreciate. But I kind of just answered the Big Lebowski. I mean, that's a pretty sweet YouTube handle. But what's the best product to use to help maintain a graphene ceramic coating? Dan wrote in here, detail spray, graphene shampoo, and graphene boost are all great options. And I would say like Dan's right, but you know, there's very specific processes to that. And actually, for Big Lebowski, we have a video on our YouTube called like listen up, what is your ceramic coating telling you? I think that is a great video of I think like when it's time to maintain your ceramic coating, it's very like reactionary. Like your ceramic coating is going to tell you what it needs. It's going to tell you if it needs graphene shampoo, it's going to tell you if it needs to be clayed, and it's going to tell you what boosting product it wants. And so that video really explains how the kind of triggers that you can see of what product you need to use, essentially. That's one of my favorite videos I've ever made. Let's see. Just going in here. Ken Wilson said, can you use a polisher to apply graphene liquid wax? Yes, you can, Ken. And we have a pad that we sell. It's the red polishing pad, but I think it's called like the wax and sealant pad. You would put that onto your machine, put it on setting 1 or 2, put a nice even layer of graphene liquid wax, and then just apply it. You don't need to like work it in like you're polishing. You can almost one-hand it and just apply it to the surface. And Trent, who applied the graphene liquid wax to his Toyota Tacoma, he did it with the machine. He said he applied it to half of his whole truck, and he went back and then wiped it off, and then he did the whole other half of his truck. So you really get a long way with applying it. I think he said it took, I said, what did it take you, like 20 minutes? And he said, not even 20 minutes. He said it was like 15 minutes roughly. So, so yeah, that's a really cool process for graphene liquid wax. Let's see. Just going through, I'm probably going to miss some of these. Oh, this is cool. Let's see. Noel says, getting ready to use advanced coating on my 2025 718 Boxer. Cool car. It's safe on rubber and plastic moldings, right? And yes, it absolutely is safe on your rubber and plastic moldings. By the way, it's like the best thing for that. So getting a foundational layer of the graphene ceramic coating onto the whole car. I mean, you can essentially do every exterior surface on your car. Even if you have a soft top, you can use the spray coating for that. And so, yes. And then if you want to, like later down the road, after you get the foundation of graphene ceramic coating advanced on, then you can spruce up the plastic and rubber and vinyl with the Graphene VRT if you have that product or want that product, you know. So let's see what else. Oh, that's cool. Chester's on here every week, which I love. Chester's a cool guy. He said he's going to do tire armor and then graphene tire dressing when he gets a day without rain. So yeah, that's actually like a cool point that Chester brought up. Tire armor it's not a graphene product, but it's a foundational product for your tires that almost protects your tires. It makes them look dressed for months. But as they start to fade a little bit, you can put the graphene tire dressing on there and it will make them look amazing. So tire armor is one of those things you put on and then you can still put like tire shine or tire dressing on top of it. No big deal. Let's see. Jeff Mendoza says, testing the graphene ceramic spray coating advanced on my sister car. Really love it so far. Yeah, the graphene ceramic spray coating advanced, that's like my favorite foundational layer. I like all of these. I've applied the graphene ceramic coating advanced to like a client's car. I've applied graphene ceramic coating to my wife's car, and I've applied graphene ceramic spray coating advanced to my car. And so I've used all the different ones, and you know, I do like the regular graphene ceramic coating. I really like a lot because I think for me, I don't like to work in small sections. I'm very impatient when it comes to car care. So I like working in bigger section, be able to go back and like wipe it off. And the graphene ceramic coating allows me to do that. Same with the spray coating. The spray coating is just so easy. And I have this kind of routine with my car because my car sits outside all the time. And so I need to do more maintenance on it. I can't just like put the graphene ceramic coating advanced, just let it sit for a long time. So I do the spray coating twice a year essentially, like every 6 months I reapply it. I just find a day when it's 60 degrees, that makes it the easiest. The most ideal day is like 60 degrees with cloud cover, no direct sunlight. So yeah, let's see. I feel bad for Anton because he like wants Adams Polishes products so bad, but he's like in the Philippines, so it's really difficult to get. I'm still trying to figure that out for Anton. I ask people every week, and they're like, I don't know. Someone said the glass coating's amazing. I do like that. Yeah, let's see. Chill Guy Chief said this is interesting to listen to. Well, I'm glad it's interesting. I think for some people it's boring. When you've worked in the industry for a long time, it's like, it's really interesting to me because, I think at Adams Polishes, like we've kind of curated these processes. Because I mean, Adam really taught me from the beginning that the process is almost more important than the products you're using. So finding the right process that works for you is super important because what that means is it's something that you want to do. It's not something that, you're dreading to do. And so finding the process you love, that's what I love. That's what I like. And that's part of like, it's also part of the reason why our product line is so big because it offers so many different types of processes for so many different types of people and different types of makes and models of cars. So, for people who have trucks, they do a lot different process than somebody that has like a Porsche, so it's very different. Everyone kind of details their car their own way, which I think is really cool. And, I've been thinking about this a lot. Like there's a lot of nuance to car care, like how you apply a ceramic coating, what products you need for it. What's the best maintenance product for a ceramic coating? A 2-bucket wash. It's not even a product, So it's just a lot of like feel to it that, someone like myself who's worked in the industry forever kind of has an understanding of that. But for a lot of you guys who are new to it, maybe not new, but like haven't been in the trenches like I have, it's like, I'm not sure what to do. So if I can help bring guidance and understanding to like how all this stuff works, that's why I'm here. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Looks like everyone's jumping off anyways because I talked too long. But actually, I have a suggestion, Ken Wilson. How about a live explaining multiple use for different products, especially when you're not on a budget. So I like that idea. I do have a video that's essentially how to detail your whole car with 5 products, and the whole theme of that video is like using products that do multiple things. So I could do that next week if you guys want. I could talk about like, we do have a lot of products that like combine 2 steps into one or even possibly like 3. And so I could talk about that a little bit if you guys want. But yeah, and Mark said +1 to Ken's suggestion. So a live about explaining multiple use for different products. So that's what we'll do next week. Talk about products that have multiple uses, more versatile type of products that are, like I would say, I'm trying to think, like Total Interior Cleaner really stands out as a product like that. So that will be one of them I talk about. So yeah, I think, there's Mark Dressel again. Hey Mark, I hope you're doing well too. Could you do a video on metal polishing with a focus on chrome? Yes, Mark. I actually like that's a pretty like underrated process that in products that we have at Adams Polishes. So I will do that here in the next couple weeks. The problem with metal polishing is trying to find the right car, because like most modern cars don't have like raw metal or even like really like a lot of chrome on them. So yeah, we'll do that next. We'll do one of those next week, whether it's multiple use for products or metal polishing. But Mark requested to see the limited bottles, so I'm gonna grab the phone, and if you stick on and check out the limited products, great. But if not, I will see you guys next week, and I'm looking forward to it. So here's the limited edition wall, so you can see there's all kinds of stuff in here. This is like one of our meeting rooms, so we'll meet with clients or people, but we have like all of the limited editions kind of floating around everywhere here. And so there's some cool ones, like here's some Canadian stuff, which I think is pretty cool. Maple syrup. I don't know if we have it in here, but we did a maple syrup scented car shampoo one time. That was pretty cool. This is a good one. It's one of the first like midnight ones we did. This is the one that people love right here. People are always requesting that online. There's that one, goes for big money on eBay. So we do have the first 100K bottles right there. But we have all kinds of stuff in here. Some of the original pumpkin spice, Halloween. There's even some weird ones over here too. Stuff like this. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next week.